My interest for motorsport started in the beginning with karting and go-kart. And now I'm racing Le Mans, where we are 30 people to just run one car. My name is Frederik Schandorff. I'm 27 years old. I'm a Danish professional racing driver. This is going to be my second Le Mans. I have been in Le Mans 2 years ago in 22, and so that was an amazing experience. I'm looking forward to do it again, and I think even now as the second time it's going to be an even better experience, because now I can focus more on the actual job I'm doing there to just be the fastest driver on track, and also to set up the car properly, because that's my job as the pro driver in the car, to make sure that the car is as fast as possible, and also the other teammates like it. So we have an atmosphere that is really awesome in our car, because we all like the same changes. So they all just trust what I do and put through whatever settings I would like, and then we just speak about it and see if they agree. But quite often they have the same feel and we drive the same way. And also I think some of that is also through the simulator, because we're trying to adapt to the same style and even make sure we do the same thing. So I brake at the same amount of pressure in each turn as they do, so we are as close as possible to each other. Because that's the thing in endurance racing, when you have multiple drivers, everyone needs to like the car and also be able to adapt how the car feels. So I got my first sim equipment 15 years ago, and I didn't really like it. I think my little brother and my dad was even quicker than me at that time, and so I didn't feel it was realistic enough, so I didn't really use it at all. So it's just really now, like the last few years, where the sim have been realistic enough that I can actually use it in my profession. So I can actually be a better driver using the simulator as my practice tool, and also use the simulator to practice my teammates and the other people that I'm coaching and working with. Now, this is how I'm coaching my teammates as well. I'm doing a voiceover from the simulator, so you can get this view you are seeing now, where we have the brake and the throttle shape. Here in the bottom you have the steering wheel as well, so you can see everything I actually do with the correct view. I'm stopping the video just here so they can see where the braking spots is, and then I'm gonna explain what kind of peak pressure I'm doing, what kind of brake shape I'm doing for each turn, what line I will use, where is the apex. So then I'm gonna play the video while I'm talking. So I'm gonna play it in here, say, this is where we want the apex, this is where you want to be back on power. The next turn, you want to position you more towards the right-hand side here to prepare the next post curve. And that's how I would explain on a voiceover to my teammates, so they can prepare as well. So they don't need to practice that much themselves on all kind of lines, all kind of techniques. That I will kind of make them the technique they should try to adapt, so they are just spending all their time on just being able to copy my driving style and copy what is the fastest way around Le Mans. I started when I was 7 years old with karting, and then I raced in Denmark, and I won a multiple Danish championship in karting, and then I moved away from Denmark to race kart when I was 13 years old. That's why I started my international career there. I started to race a European championship, and then I also ended up doing the World Championships a few years. And I just remember that time was super awesome, because all the guys I raced with there is all the young kids that is doing Formula 1 right now. I think I've probably raced karting with 10 of the Formula 1 drivers there is right now. So it's just a different age, where at that time they were just exactly like me. So we all had the same dream and same goals in life. So now some of them ending up being in Formula 1, some of them I'm still racing against in what I'm doing right now. We kind of moved separate careers, where now I'm mainly focusing on Le Mans, where they are still doing Formula 1.
Her siger stilling ud inden dagens 2 heat. Førende i øjeblikket Frederik Schandorff, Jan Lyk på andenpladsen og Mathias Schmidt på tredjepladsen. Og lad os kaste os ud i det. Vi skal i gang med andet heat.
Og netop her gik starten, og det ser faktisk ud til, at Frederik Schandorff fra tredje startposition fik den bedste start. De to Aquila.
I stopped doing karting when I was 15 years old, and then I moved to cars. And that was a quite big step in how it actually started working from when I was just with my dad in the van, traveling around Europe doing karts, and actually just from even, it was just a bigger setup, we need so many more people to actually work on the car, to prepare the car, because it's just a lot more effort it takes to run a team with cars instead of karting.
Our mechanical crew was always some people we know, some buddies they had driven go-kart with, others they had been to school with, and so on.
And all these guys have been supporting me since I was in a young age. That's the reason why we're sitting here today, and the reason why I'm in Le Mans still. So because without their support at that time, I was not able to make it. So you still need that financial support when you're young to actually prove that you are good enough to actually become a professional that I am today.
Og her forrest i feltet, Frederik Schandorff over målstregen.
Helt suveræn.
Jeg får en kanon start, jeg skyder afsted som etter lige efter 50 meter. Og så holder jeg føringen fra start til slut og øger stille og roligt hele tiden, som et sikkert forspring. Altså banen den er sindssygt glad.
We didn't have the budget to finance the sport at that time, so I just had to find the sponsorship myself. I remember my family told, if you want this, you need to find the budget yourself to actually keep racing. So already from that age, when I was 16, I had to find the sponsors to make it happen. So I kind of had to grow up very quickly to make that work. So if I want to race that I wanted so much, then I need to do all this like when I'm not racing. So I actually have spent a lot more time to actually make the racing possible than actually racing. Most of these years was just all about collecting enough sponsors to actually even practice enough. That is the worst thing about actually do the real sport versus the sim, because you actually requires a lot of effort, time and money even to practice yourself. That's why the simulator is a fantastic tool that you can use that all the time, and you can just repeat it and repeat it again without actually need to spend any money to practice. As you can see, it's not super complicated. I don't have any motion platform because at the moment the technology for that is not good enough to use as a professional, because it's just moving too much and it's not moving precise enough to feel like a real car. So that's why I just have a standard rig and have the Invicta pedals and the steering wheel. And that's just how I like the simulator to be pretty simple. So you just get all the feel from the pedals and the steering wheel. When I suggested my parents that I should quit the university and focus on full-time on this, I don't think they agreed, and it was the best idea. But it was just very difficult because I couldn't do both fully, and you need to put all the energy in this to actually make it work. So I'm very happy that I actually did that at that time and actually make it possible to do what I do now. I think if I tried to finish university at that time and do this, I will probably not have ended up doing this.
It's good to follow one's passion, but he has started with to engineer. And one day he said to me, I had got a contract, so I need to stop. But he told his mother first before he told me. And he had worked to be a professional race driver since he was 7 years old. And me and my wife has been with him a long time off the road. But now he's on his own.
I remember a period where we have just been coming from America. We have just 2 races in a row where we didn't finish the race because the car was damaged and the car broke down. And we also just kept having issues. We got hit again, and we just such in a bad circle. So it's just very, very difficult to keep the motivation and even keep working hard. But we just we just did it, and we actually ending up doing. I did the pole position for the world final, and we also ended up winning both races that weekend. So it's just such an emotional weekend where we actually went down from just having the worst weekend and there were actually multiple weekends in a row to actually ending up being one of the highlights of my career. It's the enjoyment and the passion for winning. I think I really enjoy whenever we actually succeed as a team as well. I just enjoy that feeling and the atmosphere that is around it. So whenever you're winning a race, the feelings and the emotion you get through your body there is just something you cannot replicate somewhere else. I think because you put so much effort into it, it just make it even more emotional when you actually achieve it. So this passion about it is just where it's making me want to do it more and just want to achieve more and always get that feeling again.
Hey guys, it's Frederik here. Today I'm going to visit Asetek. I'm super excited to see all the production line and see how they develop all the products. Going to see how they're testing everything, so it's just super exciting to get a tour around it. And hopefully I'm also gonna try a sim up there to test some more products.
Pænt goddag.
Velkommen til.
Jo, tak.
Det er første gang, du er her.
Yes.
Vi lever sådan set af at lave vandkøling til computer.
Det ved jeg godt.
Det er det, der betaler vores lønninger og vores entry i SimSports. Men vi har flere forskellige afdelinger. Det, vi fokuserer på lige nu, det er selvfølgelig vores simulatorforretning. Og det er lige tilfældigvis software, der sidder her. Så grunden til, at der ligger så mange produkter, jamen det er, fordi de sidder og afprøver alle vores nye software-features, de sidder og arbejder på og så videre. Så der er gang i knapperne og apparaterne her.
Vi opdaterer vel også hele tiden?
Ja, hele tiden. Nu den her, den står og lyser alle regnbuens farver. Ja. Men for eksempel, når der kommer biler bagfra, så kan du se på de striber, hvad side de kommer fra, hvor tæt de er på. Hvis du har rødt flag, gul flag osv., det kan du få vist faktisk i det her LED.
Så man er opmærksom.
Ja, lige præcis. Så det er ret cool features, synes jeg i hvert fald selv. Og vi har et stykke software. Det er ikke et stykke software til rat og til pedaler, og det er til det hele. Så på den måde, der prøver vi virkelig at gøre det brugervenligt, selvom det er high-end.
Jeg synes, det er smart, det med den måde LED'erne, du kan få dem til at lyse på, så man kan bruge dem mere, end det bare ser smart ud også.
Ja, man kan virkelig bruge dem til coaching, og man kan se nu, for eksempel, hvor du skal køre Le Mans, hvor I flere kører på en bil, ikke? Ja. Uden at kigge data og så videre. Når I sidder i simulatoren, så kan man faktisk se der, hvordan er pedalerne, og som du selvfølgelig allerede ved alt om. Der, hvor der er mest tid at hente i en racerbil, det er nok mere på pedalerne end på rattet.
Det er især bremsedelen. Ja. Den, der er så svær og så vigtigt for det. Det er faktisk der, man ser også med selv mod professionelle stadig bremsedelen. Ja. Der er det mest afgørende.
Ja, helt vildt. Helt vildt. Det er jo det, vi har gjort så meget ud af med vores hydrauliske bremse. At det skal føles som bremsen i en rigtig racerbil. Det er faktisk noget, det jeg har diskuteret en del og fået en del tæsk for. Fordi folk synes, bremsen er for hård. Ja. Hvor jeg har sådan, jamen, altså det er sådan, den er i en racerbil. Ja. Og det er der en god grund til. Ja. Men det holder vi altså fast i.
How I even got connected to Asetek originally was when I was working last year with a Hong Kongese guy that I ended up winning the Super Trofeo World Final with. When we were working on the simulator, I could just see that his brake shapes looks a bit odd. Da jeg så fik hans data til at starte med, inden hvor jeg kørte med jeres produkter, det gjorde han ikke på daværende tidspunkt, hvor jeg kunne se, at hans brake trace var helt over, fordi at han netop havde en alt for blød pedal. Ja. Så jeg kunne bare se, at den viste bare 100%, og så bremste den af til sidst. Så han kunne godt køre stærkt nok, men den sidste del havde mange på simulatoren, var fordi han slet ikke kunne modellere det. Ja. Med det, altså, de sæt pedaler, han havde.
Jamen, det svarer til at køre med 2 gaspedaler.
So I introduced him to Asetek, and after that we used the simulator to practice that, and you can just see straight away his brake shapes was a lot more identical to what it is in real life.
Nå, jamen lad os lige gå lidt videre. Den måde, vi kører det på, det er, at når vi kommer med nye produkter, så starter vi altid med at lave dem her i Danmark. Ja. Både at samle dem og teste dem og så videre og se, at det virker. Og når så at vi er komfortable med, hvordan det skal produceres, så lægger vi det typisk til Kina eller Malaysia. Ja. Fordi det er bare for dyrt i Danmark. Du kan se der for eksempel, der hænger der hydrauliske cylinder en masse. Og det er virkelig håndarbejde at få sådan en til at virke, fordi i en racerbil, der kører du et Le Mans for eksempel. Det er det mest ekstreme, du kører. Så bliver bilen jo rebuild og specielle bremser og sådan noget, ikke? Hvor vores hydrauliske cylinder der, den er faktisk lavet til at kan køre 1 million gange.
Er det bremsetester?
Ja, det her det er en af vores bremsetester. Du kan se, der står faktisk mange af dem rundt omkring, ikke? Ja. Den her den er indtil videre kørt 199.155. Ja,
det er nogle gange rundt om Le Mans.
Ja, det er. Den trykker med 100 kilo hver gang. Så den trykker så hårdt.
Ja, det er mere, end du vil trykke af den,
hvis du tager det sving. Men her er vores LMP3 jo, som vi primært kører i Danmark med. Og kører nogle enkelte udenlandstester. Det er egentlig mest for at, kan man sige, bevare og uddanne vores marketingsfolk og vores ingeniører til, at hvorfor er det en bremse er hård? Hvorfor er det mærker, som det mærker? Og jeg har også selv kørt en hel del, jo, så det er ligesom det, vi prøver at gøre anderledes end de andre. Der er mange ting, vi prøver at gøre anderledes, men lige nok det der racecar feel, at det skal føles som en rigtig bil. Ja. Det er det, jeg synes er fedt.
Ja, helt bestemt. Det er også det, jeg kan bruge til det, jeg laver nu med det. So there's a small difference between the real world and a sim, but the sim is just so realistic now when you have the correct tools to use it. So it's just the feel you get in the sim is almost identical to the car. So the flow, the gears, the brake feel is almost identical to the real cars, and that's why you can really use it as your tool to be prepared, and so you really have an idea of in each specific turn what it requires, how much pressure you need to put on the brake, and also even the different braking shapes and the modulation and the throttle pickup you do in the real car. So you just are super well prepared even before going on track. Men hvordan kommer du så fra vandkøling så til at lave SimSport?
Da vi kom ind i det på Asetek, det har du ikke set, men op ovenpå, der har vi noget, der hedder e-sports akademi. Ja. Så sagde jeg til nogle af mine ansatte, skal vi ikke også have noget rigtig gaming-greje? Så vil jeg faktisk installere nogle simulatorer. Vi købte 5 styk. Jeg gider ikke snakke dårligt om konkurrenter, men vi købte 5 styk fra dem, der skulle være markedsledere. Og det brækkede ned konstant. Og der var softwareproblemer og driverproblemer, og det mærkede overhovedet ikke som en racerbil. Og det var faktisk der, jeg fik idéen til at sige, det tror jeg, vi kan gøre bedre på Asetek.
Jeg kommer lige fra Los Angeles, hvor vi har kørt på Long Beach i weekenden, hvor jeg så netop har trænet Brandon, som jeg også kørte med. Og allerede på omgang 3 derovre var han fuldstændig up to pace, bare fordi vi har trænet hjemme i simulatoren.
Det er jo uvurderligt.
Og på en bybane er det bare vanvittigt svært, fordi vi har ikke ret meget træningstid. Der er altid rødt flag, der er nogen, der går i væggen.
Der ikke har trænet.
Ja, det er lige præcis. Og det simulatoren er mega god til, det er, at jeg selv er skarp, når jeg kommer derned. Men i stedet for, at jeg skal bruge tid på at lære teknikkerne på banen, så kan jeg bund og rundt bruge tiden på at sætte bilen op.
Men tror du så også, at en simracer vil kunne køre det samme i virkeligheden, som man kunne på simulatoren?
Hvis du er super god på sim, så kan du også køre det samme i virkeligheden, fordi det er i princippet det samme. Det, der er den største forskel, det er, at man kan ikke rigtig trykke reset i virkeligheden. Fysikken i det også er selvfølgelig ikke det samme. Altså G-påvirkningen er noget andet, og men i virkeligheden er man stadigvæk nødt til at kalkulere en lille smule. Så på omgang 1 i virkeligheden kan jeg ikke gøre, ligesom jeg vil gøre på omgang 1 i simulatoren, fordi jeg kan ikke risikere at smadre bilen på første omgang i Le Mans, fordi så vil hele vores weekend formentlig være ødelagt. Så på den måde er der nogle elementer, der er anderledes, men selve teorien og teknikken er præcis det samme, så jeg er slet ikke i tvivl om dem, der er skarpe til simulatoren, kan køre formentlig det samme, som jeg kan i virkeligheden. Men lad os se, skal jeg vise jer en omgang på simulatoren? Jamen lad os lige skifte formelrettet ud med GT-rettet, som vi skal køre med. Det, der er fedt ved de forskellige rettyper, det er, at man ligesom kan passe det til den bil, vi nu kører i nu her. Jeg har tidligere kørt Lamborghini også før. Nu skal jeg køre ved McLaren, men det her ret, det minder super meget om det, der er i Lamborghini, som jeg også kan se inde i simulatoren. Så derfor kører vi med det her ret på nuværende tidspunkt. Inden vi skal tage afsted til Frankrig for at skulle køre det rigtige Le Mans, så har jeg stadig planlagt nogle online sessioner med mine teamkammerater, hvor vi både kører mod hinanden, og vi skal også træne noget fuel saving, fordi det kan nogle gange spare en hel omgang. Især når Le Mans er så lang en omgang, så hvis man måske kun har brændstof til en halv omgang mere, og så kan få extended sit stint med den halv omgang ved at køre effektivt uden at tabe ret meget tid. Det er noget af det, man faktisk kan træne på simulatoren også. Og køre konstant, fordi vi vinder ikke Le Mans med, om vi kan køre 2/10 hurtigere end de andre, men vi vinder Le Mans ved at køre konstant uden at lave fejl. Og det er ligesom en af de vigtigste elementer ved endurance-løb. Så derfor er det ikke så meget den ultimative omgangstid, vi kører efter, men rent og sker om at køre så effektivt og konstant som muligt og minimere fejlene, så de ikke sker i virkeligheden.
Hopefully now we're sitting here today and the dream is still to win Le Mans, and I'm sure with the lineup we have now and we're just super well prepared from all the stuff we've done before getting on track. So the goal is to win it, and I believe we have a very good chance of that, and we just need to keep working on what we have practiced before and make sure we run the car clean and we don't get any crashes and we stay out of trouble and hopefully the car will survive and we're going to end up winning.
So we're just here in the parade. We're going to drive this car around the whole city where so many fans are going to come and cheering for us. We have a lot of merchandise we're throwing out. So it's just really cool to be here, and the fans are super wise, going crazy after all the merchandise. It's just such a nice hour we're going to go into now. So now we're here, we're just prepping the car for the last preparation before the race. The stuff we have done with the simulator is just so easy to adapt for the real life because the brake feel, the gears, the lines are pretty much identical to what we've just done here in qualifying. So it's just really cool that we can take everything from the simulator and implement it straight into the car like we are here. Now we are here in Le Mans instead of in the simulator. We are in such a good space now. We are starting on pole position. I did the qualifying Wednesday and made it into hyperpole. The top 8 is going into hyperpole, and then my gentleman driver Brandon, he did the hyperpole and he actually ended up on pole position. So we're just so happy, all the team. We had such a great time there in hyperpole when Brandon, he did a mega lap.
In the GT class, you need 3 different driver categories. So you need a bronze, silver, and a gold. So we have a bronze driver, that's Brandon, and he is the amateur in the car. He's the gentleman. So this is not his full-time job. He has a separate job apart from this. So everybody needs to have a gentleman driver in the car in this class. So I'm the gold driver in the car. That's when you actually move from being a semi-professional, that is the silver driver, to actually become fully professional, and I'm doing this only as my job. And that's when you move from silver to gold. So you also need a silver driver in the car, that is Ollie. So he also have a little side business apart from this, but he have also been racing his full life. So we are the 2 professionals in the car.
So it's the gentleman driver who is doing hyperpole. So it's just such an incredible experience for these guys to actually get out there and get the glory. Go out with the car in the fastest condition, new tires, low fuel. It's just one of the best feelings around on the racetrack when the car is as fast as possible. So, and Brandon, he just did an incredible job.
Because Freddie knows me so well, I know what I'm probably doing wrong because he's telling me, you're probably doing this, try it like this, and he's right almost every time. So he just has a really good sense of how to help me out. Before every race, we spend a couple weeks on the sim. Freddie sends a reference lap. He narrates the lap, so he talks about each individual turn, and then I'm able to compare my lap time, each sector time, and every turn in circuit tools to his lap. I'm also able to watch that video and really understand what I'm doing wrong. And the goal is to get within 1% of what he does on the sim, which is pretty close to what I'm able to do on the track. And it makes a huge difference to being prepared for the race.
So here we are in the garage. This is the steering wheel we're using in the simulator, the Asetek steering wheel. You can see this is the real steering wheel in the car. You can see it looks very similar. It's super good feel. Same. You can see the grip is almost identical. So it's just really awesome to have a steering wheel that is almost identical to the real car. So you can see in the center console we also have a rear view camera. There's also a radar inside it. So we get warnings when hypercars and LMP2 cars are coming. So we can see it on the dash, but we can also see with the radar system. So it's flashing in different colors versus how close they are and if they're coming close, or if it's a GT car, it's going to have another color. So we can use this, especially during the night, is such a helpful tool to make sure we get as clean as through all the traffic from behind. We can close the door if it's a GT car. So it's just a really awesome tool to help us to be as fast as possible in traffic. So here we can see like what we can see in the data here. This is a view of the track. So this is the speed trap, this is the gears, this is the throttle, this is the brake, this is the steering wheel. So then you can go in details later, zoom in and see what's actually changed. So when we go into details, you can see here, this is the Porsche curve. You can see this lap here, it was a little bit more on power to gain a little bit of lap time there. So this is what we go in, see the data, compare with the video, where we can all improve, where we can make sure that Brandon is getting up to speed. And then we have our team boss. He will be sitting here watching the race control. He will get a page where he can see all the messages from race control. They are texting flat out during a race regarding blue flags, like if there's a full course yellow, if there's a car spawn or whatever, he will get the information there, and then he will say it to us. Where the engineer, he will tell us mainly about what strategy we should be at, how much fuel we can use, what other strategy parts we have to do. This is our tire department where we can see all the tires we're fitting for the race. Here we have a carbon department as well. We're going to prepare all the carbon parts to make sure if we need extra parts, a new front bumper, rear bumper, whatever, that they're actually ready, so we can just put a new one straight away in a pit stop and then get it out. And another bumper. Hopefully we're not going to need all the bumpers, but we just need them in case. We can go upstairs as well. This is here we are changing. So in here, this is here where the mechanics are changing as well. We have our own small room in the end here. We have some bikes here. We have been doing a lot of mileage on the rest days, so we're just always keeping fit. Here is all our underwear. You can see it's lined up to get ready in the car. We have our suits over there. So we have all the shoes, we have everything here. So this is just here where we're changing and getting ready for the car. Okay. I have to go to the Danish camp. I have to go there. Okay, no worries. Okay, thank you. See you. Bye bye. Nå, vi skal på scooteren. Det er golfbokken er et andet sted. Goddag. Jo, tak. Det starter godt ud i hvert fald.
Det var din fortjeneste igen.
Ja, det er jo derfor, det er fedt, at vi kommer med i Hyperpole i hvert fald. Det er også det, jeg rigtig gerne vil, vores amatørkører. Så det er mega fedt.
Ja, det er rigtigt.
Nu kommer vi, og ligesom har chance for at vinde også, så det er pisse fedt. Har du en vand, jeg kan få? Ja.
Og nu skal vi nemlig her på scenen i gang med turstedet, der kan se Frederik Schandorff.
Det er det, man ser på en video fra banen. Jeg var rigtig først, det var jo blandt andet gerne. So now we've just been in one of the Danish camps. It's such an incredible experience to be there, and the atmosphere is really cool. So it's just so awesome to be there as a Danish driver and have so many fans here at Le Mans. So I'm just really excited to now take the start on Saturday. So we're just about to start the race. We're just having the last debrief with all the engineers. So I'm going to take the start in less than 20 minutes now. So I'm just super excited. I've just been having a really good sleep now. Hopefully being prepared for the race. Yeah, I'm just excited to get started. I've been ready for many days now, so I'm just looking forward to take the start. I'm not really emotion when I drive because I'm trying to keep all emotions away because it doesn't make you perform better at all. You can only actually affect the performance if you're not in emotion in the correct mood. That's why I'm happy that this is not my first Le Mans anymore, that I think that all these emotion that was connected to the first time you're there, because it's just something you have been looking forward to your whole life, and you've seen your idols when you're young doing it, and now you're actually there yourself. I think that was a big emotion and roller coaster the first time, and now it's a little bit moving towards just being my job, and I have to perform there, so I don't think that much about it now because it just is like another track.
Let's go, mate.
Watch yourself. So now it's 10 o'clock in the morning. Unfortunately, we are 4 laps down due to an incident yesterday where Brandon misjusted the braking zone a little bit, and that cost us. We had a radiation failure, so we had to change that, and that means we're 4 laps down. It's such a shame because the car is so good and the team has done such an incredible job. It's just been pretty much fastest on track every time we have been out there, so it's just really sad that we're actually not on the lead laps and being able to fight for the win, because I really think we have everything it takes to do things. It's just really disappointed about this because so much effort has been put into this, and now it just all ending up just because a tiny mistake but that's just how racing is, so I'm glad nothing happened to him and the car is still running, so let's see where we finish. So we just finished the race here. I crossed the finish line. I'm a little bit disappointed right now because we really had a good speed. We had such an awesome race from the beginning on, where we started from pole position, and I was able to keep the lead for my first 2 stints. So we were in a really good place. But then unfortunately during the night, Brandon did a little mistake, so he just braked too late on the slicks in the dam circuit. Such a small mistake, probably like he broke like 8 to 10 meters too late, and that was just enough to actually ending up in the barrier, and then the radiator got broken. So we had to replace the front bumper and the radiator to get back out, and that cost us almost 5 laps. So yeah, I'm really disappointed because we had such a good speed here and everyone was doing really good. Brandon did amazing, Ollie was super fast as well. And the team also did a mega job with the pit stop and everything. So yeah. Yeah, right now I'm just, not satisfied because when you have the speed to win, it's just not nice to be 5 laps down, because I passed the leader multiple times in the race and I also pulled away from the winning car. So I know we had the ingredients to win, but we end up being 5 laps down. But that's how racing is. Obviously, we have done a lot of sim before this event, and that also shows with Brandon actually did the hyperpole lap. It was just really good to see that he was so quick to speed after all our sim sessions. So it definitely helped. Obviously, what the sim cannot do is in this kind of tricky conditions where we have mixed conditions. The sim is very difficult to actually provide these kind of situations. So this is just by feel from like natural from karting, from our previous experience. So where the sim is awesome to get like either it's proper rain or proper drive, but these mixed conditions on dam is almost impossible to replicate in the sim. So but definitely helped us to be as quick as we were. So I'm just really glad we have a good preparation. So I'm just glad to be here, and hopefully I'm gonna be here back next year again. So see you guys. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you're gonna stay tuned in the future.